Hello again everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Standalone Gaming. Thank you for joining me for another episode of our SnowRunner series, and I really hope you enjoy it.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show.
Alright everyone, welcome back. In the last episode we found all the watchtowers in Smithville Dam. We found a lot of the upgrades. I think there's only about 2 left that we need to obtain. There's at least 1 or 2 more vehicles that we need to pick up, and then we will probably start doing the tasks and other objectives in this area so that we can finally hit level 7 and get some tires. I know we've been talking about it for a few episodes now, but for some reason level 7 just keeps staying out of reach. So with that being said, we're gonna head out of our garage here. The first upgrade I want to get is right here. We are going to stop by this vehicle over here just so we can do some repairs. We're gonna then head over here. We're gonna grab this and that. With that being said, let's get started. I'm probably going to drive towards the end of the dam here, and I'll probably speed it up until we get to this part, and then I'll show you how I get down to the upgrade. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and start driving. I will see you when we get there. Alright, so we made it to the end of the dam here. What we're going to do is just exit our map. We're going to go ahead and go down to the left here. Now, it's a fairly straight shot to get the upgrade, but I wanted to bring you along for the journey, so here we are. That way, if you're following along, you get all the upgrades, get all the watchtowers. Eventually we'll have all the tasks done, but we're not going to focus on them at first. Alright, and once you're down here, all you gotta do is drive up to the same marker. Oh, hello. Saved it. Tell me that wasn't a nice save. Alright, he was definitely flipping. We would have been in the water. Alright, so we got engageable all-wheel drive for the White Western Star. Again, I haven't seen that vehicle, I haven't used it, so I'm not entirely sure how good it is. But if we ever do decide to use it, we have 2 upgrades for it so far. And the beauty of finding the upgrades, the first ones that you find are free. You can attach them to any of the vehicles that can use them. Obviously that one's just a White Star, but for an example, if something can be used on 6 different vehicles, that upgrade can be used for free the first time. Every time after that, you'll have to purchase. So next we'll probably go, I want to stop by this vehicle here. So off screen, after the last episode, I ended up going to check this out just to see what it was. And basically it's another one of those vehicles like in Alaska where we had to deliver the Hummer to the garage. It's essentially the same thing for this vehicle. So what I'm going to do is just drive by. We've got a bunch of the repair stuff on our vehicle. We're going to throw in some of the repair stuff, try to get it repaired as much as possible, and then we're just going to leave it there. And we're going to pick it up at some other date. And then we're going to drive over here, grab the upgrade, and then hopefully pick up this vehicle. But it really depends on how this situation is right here. If we can't get through here, we might not be able to get it. But we could always, looks like we can drive down this path down here. So we're going to have to go and find out. With that being said, I'm probably going to drive back up here, down the embankment over here. And I will see you guys on the other side of the dam. one more time in this episode. We're going to go ahead and buy the fuel container. We're going to go ahead and refuel with it. Make sure you have it selected. Fuel scout fuel carrier there. Just make sure we got our full fuel, sell the trailer, and free fuel for everybody. Could always use the supplies we have atop of the roof rack, but now, say for example, we end up driving too far, we always have those as a backup still. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Alright, so we're going to drive down here to the right, through the mud, and this should lead us right down to where that truck is. Be a little careful, the hill does get steep pretty here. Be careful, the hill does get pretty steep here. Once you get down towards the river, a little bit more manageable. And what you want to do, instead of following the path over there, is I like to drive on these rocks. They seem to keep your traction a lot better. If I can avoid mud and avoid having to use my winch every 5 seconds, I'll take it. Watch me catch some air, and we'll be at the vehicle very shortly. So here we are at this vehicle. They want you to deliver this back to the garage. Now at some point we are going to do that, but for now we're just going to go ahead and repair it. Make sure it's the white Western Star as our target. So if you remember, that is the vehicle that we have 2 upgrades for already. So keep that in mind as we continue to repair this guy. Go ahead and finish the repairs there. We'll go to our small roof rack. And now he is completely upgraded, or upgraded, completely repaired. So if we wanted to, we could probably attach the winch now, and maybe we could get him out of this location. Oh, it looks like he's out of fuel. Alright, we have some of that too, right? Like I said before, better to have it and not need it. Need it and not have it. So there we go, we gave him some fuel. Now that we have him able to drive behind us, it'll make it a lot easier for him to drive behind us. If you don't have the vehicle on, or he doesn't have gas or anything else that will prohibit him from moving, it'll be a lot more difficult to have him follow you in any sense. You'll basically be dragging it instead of him following behind you. Now again, we're going to go through the rocks here. Wasn't sure if we were going to completely repair him or not, so now that he is, we will try to see if we can get him back to where we need to be. Go ahead and take a look at the map real quick. I think our best bet, I really don't want to drag him up this steep hill here. However, I feel like it might be our best bet. I'm not entirely sure how steep that is. That might be just as steep, if not more steep, so we're gonna have to try to bring it up this way. If we can't do it, we can't do it, and we'll figure some other way to do it later. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and make it daytime. Just make it a little bit easier to see. Go ahead and try our best to get this guy up the hill, and I assume once we get him to the garage that he will be ours and we can use him at any time. Instead of making this left, I'm going to try to go straight up this hill here. Yes, there's a tree in the way, but I feel like making that left is going to be more difficult. If I remember correctly, it was also where the road got very narrow. So we're going to drive straight up here, and if we can make it out, I think we will be on our way to having another vehicle. Okay, that's not the way we want to go. Go ahead, let him slide down a little bit, and we're going to turn off to the left here. So it looks like we're going to have to see if we can finagle him up through this tighter spots. Does not seem like we can do it with this vehicle. We're going to give it a little bit more time, and then if we have to leave him here, we will leave him here. We'll come back with something a little bit stronger, maybe, I don't know, we'll have to figure it out. But for now, it doesn't seem like we can pull him up with the Hummer. We're going to go ahead and try one more time. See if we put it in low. He's He's not budging. He's stuck on that rock, or he's stuck on something. So we're just gonna leave him here. We'll come back for him maybe in the next episode or something. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and try to go get those upgrades and the Chevrolet. And hopefully we can come back and pick him up. But it might not be in this episode. Actually, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and recover. Reason being, garage is a little bit closer to where we need to be. We can go right down this road here. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, just recover real quick. Save ourselves some time. Leave the garage. And all we gotta do in order to get to this next one is make this left, and make the right onto the road, a highway. And then that should take us down past a gas station, and the dirt road we're looking for should be right after that. So we come down here. Remember, this is the same hill we came up when we first got to Smithville. So this will lead us right back to Black River. Black River will be down here on the left. Where we're going to be going is on the right. Not sure what we hit there, but it sometimes happens when you're driving downhill. Just hit random objects. Could have been a tiny stone, it could have been a stick, I don't really know, but we hit something. But again, that's why we have these repair parts and supply parts on top of our vehicle. So if anything becomes too much of a pain or a hassle, we can always, recover. We're gonna go ahead and grab this quest while we're here for that lost trailer. I'm fairly certain there's another quest right over here. We can refuel quick. Pretty sure this is a quest. Oh, okay, so you can pick up fuel there. Good to know. I assume we'll have to deliver that at some point. And the road we're looking for is a very steep dirt road. Should be right off to the right down here. Now, if I remember correctly, I did do this one. So it is very deep. So do your best to stay on all four tires. I even have the brake on, it's still pushing me down. Go, going down. Go slow if you need to go slow. Whatever it takes to make sure you're successful. Last thing you want to do is flip over or have a reason to have to recover instead of completing the task. Every time you got to recover, a bit more of a pain in the booty, One of the reasons I got the autonomous winch, I've been very grateful that I haven't had to use it too much. There has been a few times where it saved us, so definitely a decent investment. It's about $10,000, but it saved us a good chunk of time. So let's keep that in mind. We're gonna go ahead, drop down here, go ahead and grab it. Engageable all-wheel drive for the Chevrolet CK 1500. I believe we ended up selling that vehicle. What we're going to do is do a quick K-turn and try to get back up onto this path here. And once you're back up here, you continue along this path. It should take you back up to the upper area. very tight right there, so be careful. I'm gonna pause it real here. Oh God, I can't even speak today. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna pause it real quick right here, and we're gonna make sure that we're going the right way. We're gonna go up here, make a left, and there's a steep, looks like a steep S-turn incline to get up to where we need to go here. So. Get so panicked when you're starting to fall off things that you just kind of like move the camera wherever and you're like, oh my God. I apologize when I get some of those shitty camera angles for you guys. As you can see, it's fairly steep. It definitely didn't make it easy. I'm still in automatic. I haven't had to do low gear yet, but definitely difficult to you know, get up some of these steeper spots. Like right here, they put a rock right in the path there. If we didn't have these upgrades from Alaska, I guarantee you we would have gotten stuck there. Don't get me wrong, the Hummer's a great vehicle, but I feel like those upgrades that we got from Alaska are what's saving our ass 90% of the time. Between that and the autonomous winch, like I said, we got one of the better scout vehicles in the game, at least in this earlier part. I haven't really had the, you know, luxury of trying some of the other ones, because the only other ones I really had were the DLC ones. I haven't unlocked any of the others. So, but this Chevrolet is free, so all you gotta do is change trucks. Now you got a new Chevy. If you still have the one from the very beginning of the game, this will be your second one. But we're gonna go ahead and recover this guy. Go back to our global map. Go back to our Hummer. And I think we're gonna recover him too. Let's take a quick peek. Actually, let's go grab this quest just to make sure that we have it. Go grab that quest. Make sure that we have that, and we'll go from there. Really want you to tip over on this mountain, I can see that. All you need are service spare parts, 2 of them, so that's fairly simple. We could easily do that, get that done. Maybe even get us level 7, so what we're going to do is go ahead and recover. And we're gonna go get those right now. We already have the Fleet Star out. We're gonna go grab the Fleet Star. And we're gonna head back to the service hub. And we're gonna go ahead and grab 2 of the service spare parts. And we'll head over there and make sure that we get that bridge all set up. the service spare parts. All we gotta do, drive up this road a little bit, make the left, go down like we're going back to Black River there. Head the same way we went with the Hummer. And instead of turning down that dirt path, we just keep continuing pushing forward. And we should make it to the boulder. Driving downhill like this, especially in a heavier truck, it'll definitely get your momentum going. So make sure you're keeping an eye out on pretty much any rock that's in your way. Any kind of steep bump or steep jolt will definitely do a lot of damage to your undercarriage. You know, your suspension, your drivetrain, your engine. You know, sometimes even your tire, depending on what it is. And your tire doesn't have like an actual health gauge. It's kind of like once your tire is done, your tire is done, and you'll end up driving around with a flat tire, and it'll make your journey a lot more difficult. So keep that in mind, especially when you're gaining some speed. I know it's always nice to have some speed, especially when most of this game is slower, but keep that in mind. It's not always a good thing. We're getting here. We're going to try to avoid all this mud. Fleet Star made it look easy. I think we only have a little bit further to go, and we should have the bridge completed. Best part about driving through the forest, you have plenty of winch points. And our boulders are right there. There we go. Cleared the boulder, that's out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and recover our Fleet Star now. And with that being said, that'll be the end of this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you follow me on the next episode. Till then, I'll see you around.
I'll fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.